Estate Dojo. In today's lessons, I'm going to teach you guys is some of the major mistakes I've seen people do in negotiation. And guys, I've sold ATVs, numerous bikes, numerous cars, numerous real estate properties, and I've seen it all, guys. Big trucks, little trucks, trailers, big rigs, etc. And I'm going to tell you two things you should not do, and I'm going to generalize it. And if you learn this stuff, you're going to have a significant amount of success. Okay. The number one thing, and this is not the most important thing. This is the second most important thing. I'm going to tell you the most important thing as number two. So the number one thing you should know is that, for example, if you're buying this gadget, never diss on the property. Never bring down the property. Okay. So if I'm going to go negotiate with the seller, what a lot of people do when they call me, say, oh man, this is not the right color I want it to be red. Oh man, this is too big, I wanted the shorter one. Hey, I wanted the bigger one. Hey, this has a little scratch in it, this has little dents in it. Hey X, hey Y. So the buyer always finds objections to basically hit me in the head because they want to negotiate the price. And what I'm here to tell you is if you throw in punches to negotiate the price, it's not going to fucking work. The guy's going to pull his guard up and say, fuck you, dude. Okay? So the number one thing is do not diss, do not bring down, do not use negativity to, in any way, dishonor that seller's property, any shape or fashion. Okay? I mean, you're just gonna fuck it up. If you say, hey, this is too big, this is too small, this is not what I wanted. Let me give you some examples. I was selling some big rigs because I'm selling everything I own, and I'm gonna close down my business because of the betrayal my brother has done to me. So everything I worked for 15 years, I'm just gonna walk away from it, sell it for $1, 10 cents, 20 cents on a dollar. Even my businesses, I'm just gonna walk away. And so there's people coming here buying some of my big rigs. They've driven from, let's say, I'm in Dallas, from Austin, from Houston. And I know I priced the sucker really good, okay? Like I said, I'm selling it for like 10 cents, 20 cents on a dollar. Where if you look online, you're gonna pay thousands of dollars more. So they already came down here because the price is good. So number one is, I already have the leverage because I know how far they are and how much they came down here. So it took them like 3 or 4 hours. Then they'll get to my big rig and say, oh man, this thing I needed to be a stick, it's automatic. Oh man, this thing has a little wear. Oh man, I'm gonna have to take this box off and put a flatbed in it. And as the seller, I understand their concerns that, hey, this guy needs automatic instead of a stick, or he wants the stick instead of automatic, all that stuff. But it has no relevance to me on me lowering my price. What I'm seeing is this guy's coming talking shit about my property, okay? And that's a no-no. Now, the better way to deal with that, I'm gonna tell you later, okay? So point number one is do not ever diss on somebody's property. Do not bring their property down for a way to negotiate a lower price. That's a total no-no, guys, okay? Now, the reason that number two is the number two I said before number one is because whenever you do number one, which is bring the other person's property down, it's going to lead into this dark alley called point number two, which is the most important part. Never, 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 ever attack the seller's ego. Dude, that's just like the worst thing you can do, dude. So what happens is if you diss on their property, sometimes that seller's sophisticated and he realizes, hey, you're not talking about him. Okay, but other times they're gonna take it personal. Okay, for example, if you're a real estate investor and this is somebody's home they work extremely hard for, now they're motivated because they had a death in the family, or like me, guys, I'm motivated because everything I've ever done was for my family, for my sister, for my brother. I don't have kids, so I've done everything for them, and for my brother to betray me, for my family to betray me, it's just like I became motivated. I'm selling shit I don't even give a fuck about because I'm ready just to move this area and go somewhere else because I don't want to be in a place that reminds me of my suffering, okay? And be around people that betrayed me when I've done everything I had for them, dude. I just live for my brother as he's like my little son. So now, even though I'm very, very motivated, And if you're a real estate investor, you're talking to a motivated seller, you come in here and you talk shit about their fucking property, guess what, dude? Even if they're fucking motivated, he's gonna get his guard up. I'm willing to sell my shit for free. This property right now, I've listed it on the MLS, $40,000 less than what the fair market value is. Why? Because I'm motivated. Not because I'm financially motivated, because I'm emotionally motivated. And that's another video I'm gonna do for you guys to explain the difference, okay? So, in this situation, if I'm selling my house at a deep discount, I'm the seller, I'm fucking motivated, you come to my house and you start talking shit about my property, and I'm already feeling down. What do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna say, pull my guard up, tell you to fuck you. I ain't gonna give you a deal. Because you're attacking my ego now, okay? And that's why when I train you guys on my how to talk to a seller over a phone, I help you guys to separate questions like, don't say, how much are you behind in your payments? You have to separate them. You gotta say, how much is the house behind on the payments? Now, what I just said seems very similar, but it's totally not. One is you're attaching the seller with the house and the problem, which now the ego is involved. The other one, you're attaching the seller's ego from the house. So I say, how much is the house behind in payments? Now the seller could pull themselves out of there and say, oh, the house is over here, this is behind X. When you say, Mr. Seller, how much are you behind in payments? Now that you're talking to the ego, and guess what? They may not want to reveal that information to you, okay? They're gonna give you jabs, they're gonna chin you, okay? Block you. So, coming to the story of negotiation, the number 2 idea is never attack somebody's ego. So if you're talking to the seller and the seller says, hey, the grass is blue, don't say, no man, it's green, blah, blah, blah. For example, if the guy says my house is worth 60, don't say, no, here's the cost, blah, blah, blah. See, what you're doing is you're just jabbing them, okay? What you need to do is give love, and I'll explain point number 3, how to get the deals. Right now I'm talking about what not to do. So never attack their ego. So if the guy says the grass is blue and you know it's green, don't argue with them. Use neutral words like, okay, sure. And what that means is that you're not disagreeing with them and you're not really agreeing with them. You're just saying, okay, if you think it's blue, okay. If you think it's blue, sure. And then you go into, your negotiation. So never ever attack the seller's ego. That's just one example of it, okay? So if you do number 1, which is talk shit about their property, like the guy that comes to buy one of my trucks, just so many people, out of 10 people that come in, 9 or 8 of them will just talk shit about the property, okay? Or the equipment, or whatever I'm selling, okay? And the reason they do that is they think in their mind they're gonna be able to get the price down. And that's totally wrong, because what that does is like the domino effect. It's gonna hit my ego. I'm saying, fuck you, dude, I ain't giving you shit. Now, never attack the seller's ego is the most important part. Even if you're talking about the sales price of the house, or if you're talking about them, never attack them. Like, for example, if you tell them, hey, you're an idiot, dude, or damn, man, you're not smart, or anything like that, guess what? You're never gonna get the deal. All right, I'm gonna tell you some better ways to do it just in 1 second, but I want to let you know the main part of negotiation, okay? And I forgot to say that in the beginning. The main part of negotiation is not to create separation. Who gives a fuck if you're right, dude? It doesn't pay if you're right, man. And that's one of the hardest things I had to realize in business. I can give you stories after stories after stories where, customers have came, my moving business, we render services, they didn't pay, I had to take their stuff and put it in the storage. According to the law, I auctioned it off, which was junk, nobody wanted it, I threw it in the trash. Lady sued me, hired an attorney, won. Lady sued me again for a different thing, won. Lady sued me the 3rd time for a different thing. And and this time I realized that, man, it doesn't matter if I'm right, dude. I was right from day 1 when I took the lady stuff. I was right at the court number 1, court number 2, now I'm at court number 3. And the best thing is, man, I just give the bitch some money and say, love you, have a great day. And it was my mistake, dude, because it doesn't matter if you're right in court. It really doesn't matter, dude, okay? And it really doesn't matter if you're right in negotiation. negotiation. If the goal is to get this object, let them think they're right. Okay? I mean, it really doesn't matter because the goal is to kick the ball into the goal. That's it. Whoever does that, that wins. So if you're able to detach your ego and let them be consumed by their ego, then that's a win for you because it's so hard to detach yourself. So the point I'm trying to make is, in negotiation, if you create separation, you're never going to get the deal. Who gives a fuck if you're right, dude? It does not matter. You're not going to get the deal being right. You may get the deal being wrong. You may get the deal being neutral. But for sure, you're not going to get the deal if you're being right because you're creating separation. Because whatever the seller thinks is right, you better think on his side. So your goal is to merge, okay? Now I told you, step 1, never diss on the seller's property. Step 2, never diss on the seller's ego. Now I'm going to explain to you a couple of things you guys should do, okay, if you want to get the deal. Let's go to the idea of the property. Instead of dissing on the property, let's say this property is a house. I go to the seller's house, I'm not going to say, oh man, this thing's a little fucked up, I got to change the pile, I don't like the carpet, dude, I like vinyl, I don't like white, I want this, oh I hate the cabinets, and try to use those ideas to knock down the home. You need to give love, you need to listen, you need to fucking care, you need to add value. So when I'm in the house talking to the seller's lived there for 15 years, he's talking about his kid, he's talking about his dog, you know, dude, I'm telling them I love the house. This is a beautiful house, dude. This is awesome. Dude, if I don't like the cabinets and the guy loves it, so what? That's my fucking opinion. I don't have to I'm not lying to them. I'm just keeping quiet. I'm like, hey, this is a great because he loves it. It's good for him. What somebody else may love it. I may not love it. But it's a great fucking cabinet. So I'm gonna give it the art, the appreciation for it. It might not be something that I would want. If the carpet is green and he thinks it's awesome and somebody else don't think it's awesome. So I don't think it's awesome, but I think it's a beautiful carpet. It took a significant amount of love to make it. Somebody had to use their imagination to create a company, so I appreciate it for it, man. I'm not gonna diss on it, but maybe it's not something that I want. So I'm not gonna let him know that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm walking to the seller's home and giving him love on that property. Okay, whatever he loves, if I like it, I tell him, hey, that's great. If I don't like it, I still say it's great because somebody made it out of love. So I never diss on the seller's property to negotiate on the price. So one of the things you should do is add love and care to the seller and not try to bring them down. Don't do negativity. Build up. Because what happens is whenever you give them love and you build them up, that guard comes down. That ego comes down, dude. And now, that's the time when you're able to have your soul and their soul just connect, dude. That's the time where you're able to build rapport and have them like you and show them that you're different than the other dudes, okay? And guess what? Once he likes you, and if there's 10 other motherfuckers you're going to give him they offered him $5 and he declined it, he may give it to you for $5. Because when you came to his home, you listened to them, you did something other people didn't do, you give him appreciation, you reminisce about things he loved, his kid, his dog, if he likes to work out, whatever, to build that rapport. End of the day, you say, hey, I could only offer $5, like everybody else. And more than likely, he's going to give it to you, okay, instead of somebody else, because somebody else offered him $5, but they came here and said, hey man, this cabinet shitty, the carpet shitty, I don't give a fuck about your kids, I don't give, they're not saying that, but when the guy says, oh, here's a picture of my kids, they say, okay, great. So their body language is saying, fuck your kids. Fuck what you just said to me, dude. I'm only about me. I want to make this money. Where it's like, no, the guy says, about this picture of his mountain, let's take 20, 30 minutes to talk about this. This is great, man. Let me learn about some shit. Because you experienced this, not any experiences. Give the guy love. Give the woman love. And if you give him love, you're going to get what the fuck you want. But the number one way not to get fucking a deal is to go in there and talk shit about their fucking property. Whatever it is. You're buying a car, you're buying a motorcycle, you're buying a truck, you're buying real estate. And the second way to fuck the deal up is to go in there and talk shit about that person or attack their fucking ego. If they think the grass is green, and Or I mean, if they think the grass is blue, okay, sure. Never disagree with them, dude, okay? And if you get these two basic ideas, you're gonna have success. Simply put, give love, give value, and try to help people out, and you're gonna get the deal. Be a positive force instead of bringing somebody's property down for you to make $1, okay? Guys, if you like this video, please like, please share, please comment, and tell your friends and family about me. See you later.